Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm your host, Lee Marvin, attorney Lee Marvin. I've been practicing law for over 20 years and specializing in immigration law for over a decade. Um, I'm here every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Detroit time, to answer your questions, to provide you updates on what's going on in the crazy world of immigration. It's very political these days, but we try to give you information relevant to you and your family so you can move forward and succeed. So, whether that's a process that you might need help with, like last week, I did a webinar. I did a free webinar last week for people for fiance visas and marriage green cards. And boy, was it great. We had a lot of people attend, a lot of very interested people wanting to bring their loved ones into the United States. Why do you come to me for this? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and because my results are really good, and because I'm easy to deal with. Okay, there's lots of reasons, but the important thing is you have a choice. So, what I always like to tell people on my show every week is to go to my YouTube channel, because on my YouTube channel I have, I think, over 300 videos that I've recorded to answer questions and to address specific things that people have questions about. So if you have questions, or there's something that you might need an answer to, that you don't hear on this live show every week, you can go to my YouTube channel. Check out the YouTube channel, and if you have a question, let me know. Okay. So without further ado, let me see. There's always questions. Welcome to all my friends on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you have a question, put them in the comments, in the comment section. So ask your questions, please. So questions are good because that's how you guys get answers to things you need. Ask questions. So post your questions in the comment section, please. Okay. So again, let's see. We have our friends from Instagram. Let me see what sorts of questions we have so far. I'm a permanent resident. Can I expedite my case for children under 21? So expedited case reviews. So it really comes down to your relationship. Usually it's a marriage based is what they allow for expediting, but it depends on your relationship, of course. Is it possible to do it as a child? Okay, it's possible. Everything comes down to what the reason is, what the urgent need is, why you have to have something expedited. Government doesn't like to expedite, okay? I'll be honest with you. They don't want to expedite. They just want to be left alone. They want to do things in their time. But if you submit the request the right way, they have to at least entertain the possibility of expediting your case review, okay? So absolutely try it out. It's very important that you do it the right way. If you need help with that, you can always reach out to me. I always like to put the link. So if you need a consultation, you can click on the link so that I can help you, okay? If you need help with something like that, reaching out to me is one of the best ways to make sure that you get what you need, okay? Why is this? Okay, this is not working the way it's supposed to. So yes, it is possible to do an expedited request for other people other than your spouse. I think the chances of success are much better if it's based on a marriage-based relationship. Have you had any clients put in their citizenship 4 years and 9 months? What are the wait times are you seeing? Okay, so naturalization requests. Okay, so there's different waiting periods for naturalization. 3 years is very common if you are married to a U.S. citizen. If you're not, it's 5 years, okay? I think 3 months or 90 days before that anniversary is as soon as you're able to submit your naturalization request. So if you are within that window, you absolutely can submit your request early. Otherwise, you wait for the 5-year anniversary to come up and pass, okay? Let's see here. Again, please post your questions in the comments section so I can answer them. Let's see here. I'm looking up here to see any questions. I have a bunch of questions I wrote down and a bunch of questions that I've been asked on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to get to those here. Let me first go over here, see what we have. No, we're good. Okay. So there's a lot going on right now in immigration. Okay. I'm not even talking about the border crisis. Okay. That's been going on for a while. It's a bit annoying now, but it's starting to heat up with the political, election coming. But as far as things that are helpful, these questions have been asked. Okay, so traveling after your marriage, green card without your spouse. This question came up the other day with a client. Okay, I did a consultation. They asked, "Hey, what if I want to travel without my significant other? I just got approved for my green card. Is that a red flag?" It could be, okay? Because if you are traveling internationally, you just got your green card based on marriage, and you're traveling without your significant other, will the government look at it and see, oh boy, that was a fraudulent immigration request? Maybe. There's a good chance that they would, depending on your relationship. It depends on what your filing was all about, what your interview is all about. If there is any suspicion based on your interview, immigration is going to be watching you more closely than other people. So if you travel without your sponsor, that absolutely could be a red flag, unless your sponsor spouse is going to join you, right? If you have a good reason why you're not together, then that's a good reason. So the important thing is you got to be prepared for difficult questions. Whether you're innocent or whether you're guilty, if you've got a good answer to why you're doing what you're doing, chances are you're going to be fine. Okay. So that question I thought was a very interesting question. Oh, this one too. Okay. So I had a question. I need to drive to fill in the blank, Texas, Arizona, Florida. I don't have legal status. Am I at risk of this? So I used to get that question a lot for flying, right? I don't want to go through the airport because immigration is always watching people. That is true, okay? So technically you're able to travel because the Real ID Act hasn't come into effect yet. But is it worth the risk? A lot of times it's not, okay? The same could be said about driving. So people say, okay, well, I can't fly. I guess I'm going to have to drive. Yeah, true. You do it if you have to, okay? But if you're just doing spring break, party time, and you want to just drive to a place like Florida, it's a great place. But they're very strict in Florida and in Texas because of the catastrophe that's going on right now, okay? So immigration absolutely can stop you. I mean, whether it's legal or not, it doesn't matter. If you're stopped by the government, if you're stopped by immigration and they ask you the uncomfortable question like, hey, are you here with legal status? Prove that you are. And you can't. Doesn't matter if their request is reasonable or legal or not, because they're going to take you away and deport you. Okay. So be careful when you're traveling to places that are at the center of a whirlwind of trouble right now. Just be careful. Okay. Places like Florida is very strict on immigrants. Illegal immigrants, absolutely. They're very strict. So be careful with that, okay? Okay, this is coming up a lot because election time is coming, okay? Can I vote? I'm a legal permanent resident. I really want to vote, and my naturalization isn't going to come in time for me to be able to vote. Can I just vote anyway? Can I just fill out the paperwork? No, 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 no. Some states, some politicians might say it's okay. It might be a trap. It might be a trick, because I tell you what, there's nothing illegal about somebody voting when they are not a U.S. citizen, okay? Doesn't matter how long you've been a permanent resident. Doesn't matter anything. Because even if you're not caught today, doesn't mean you're not going to be caught in the future. Things have happened. I get lots of questions from people from years ago. Hey, I applied for this, that, and the other. I claimed I was a citizen. What do I do? Well, in many cases, it's already happened. There's nothing you can do but hope that the government doesn't find out, and that they're not looking for easy ways to deport people. Because I tell you what, if you do things that you're not supposed to, if you're supposed to be a US citizen, but you do it anyway, that's a recipe for disaster. So be really careful about that. Check out my YouTube channel because I do have videos that talk about things like this. You can find out what sorts of things you're more at risk about, okay? So take a look. Okay, so let me see here. 1 second here. Okay, so don't vote unless you're a US citizen. Oh, this is happening a lot. Okay, first of all, let me remind you to ask your questions. If you have questions, post them in the comment section below. Ask your questions. Because I really want to answer relevant questions to you. And I don't know why this, for some reason, is not working. So please post your questions in the comments section. And let me get back to, so this is happening a fair amount, okay? So let's say you leave the United States and you fly back, you have legal status, you have the ability to travel, to come and go, whether you're a legal permanent resident, whether you have a student visa, whether you have a tourist visa, whether you're here on a work visa, whether you're leaving and re-entering legally or not. The government still has the ability to search your cell phone, okay? So if they suspect foul play, if they suspect that you're doing things you're not supposed to, or even if they casually ask you, hey, let me see your cell phone real quick. I need to look at something. Can they do that? Probably. Even if they can't, if they ask you and you say no, what are they going to do? They're going to detain you. So the point is, always expect it. So what does that mean? It means you have no privacy. Okay? Just being honest. If you are an immigrant, if you are someone who is not a US citizen, even a legal resident, if you're coming into the United States and you're not a US citizen, you are always subject to the government scrutiny, okay? Even US citizens can be subject to that scrutiny, meaning that they're going to ask you questions. Whether you pick a fight later and you challenge them on it, yeah, you can do that. But you're always at risk, so be smart, okay? Be smart, meaning if you have crap on your phone, if you have disgusting, despicable things on your phone, get rid of them, okay? I talked about this last week too, about sanitizing your social media, and people look down on that like, oh, they went and they deleted stuff on their public profile. Well, yeah, because if you don't, you're an idiot, okay? You got to understand, guys, we are not public figures, okay? We are not politicians. We are people, okay? So if you want to sanitize your profile because you think that there's a chance someday that something might happen, then do it. Don't be an idiot. Do it to protect yourself. If it comes back later and bites you, I don't know, you can probably do something about that. Okay. I'm being told that I have a question, okay, on, let's see, was it Instagram? Let me see here. Okay. With a green card, how long can you stay out of the country? Excellent question for Dean, okay? So the government, if you're a legal permanent resident, meaning you have a green card, you automatically have the right to leave the country and to stay out for a maximum of 6 months, okay? If you do it one day more, you could have some problems later, okay? Welcome everyone who's joining us. Please post your questions in the comments section, okay? So if you, up to 6 months, you're absolutely fine. You don't have to worry. If you're more than 6 months outside the United States as a green card holder, then you may have to worry, okay? Usually it doesn't come up or to become a problem until you try to become a naturalized citizen, okay? Because as a legal resident, the rules say you can be out of the country for 6 months at a time, or cumulatively. If you're only gone for 6 months and then you come back and then you go again for 6 months and you come back and you can only stay out of the country for 6 months out of the year without having trouble. Okay, so keep that in mind. So there's the answer to that question. Okay, 6 months as a green card holder. Yeah, 6 months. I've had lots of people come to me after the fact and they say, "Holy crap, Attorney Marvin, I did not know that I could not be gone for, I had to be back by 6 months." Yes, you will lose your legal permanent residency, or the government has the ability to remove your approval if you're gone for more than 6 months. So don't do it. Again, I have videos about it on my YouTube channel, but be very careful. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see what else. I have some more questions here. Okay, I'm in the middle of a case. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Is it safe to spend a vacation in Florida? I wonder if you were just listening to me a second ago. I spoke about that. I'm going to tell you again, though. I haven't gotten anything but a work permit. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Okay, so based on that question, it's obvious that you do not have your green card yet. So you are married to a U.S. citizen and you want to go to Florida for vacation. Is it safe? Probably. Is it a risk? Heck yeah, it is. Because if you don't have legal status and you're going to a place like Florida that has made it very clear that they're very strict on people without legal status, you are at risk. And it don't matter if you're married to a U.S. citizen or not. Being married to a U.S. citizen is almost irrelevant, except for the fact that it allows you to move forward with different green card and immigration processes. But just being married offers zero protection to you. So be careful with that, okay? So be careful where you go and how you look and all those things. Because again, whether you're in the right or not doesn't matter if you're detained and deported, okay? You can fight later on, but the best thing is to avoid the trouble in the first place. So one of the hallmarks of my practice, my legal practice, is helping people avoid problems. Sure, I could charge a ton of money to help you fix those problems, but I'd rather help you avoid those problems because I sleep better at night and everybody wins if you can avoid those problems, okay? So just be careful with that stuff. Let's see, what else do we have? Post your questions on here, okay? If you have questions, please let me know. Let me look through here to see what kind of questions we already have. Yes, I think it's very important to keep people safe, which is why I answer these questions. Okay, so let me go to my YouTube channel where I had some questions earlier that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, let me look up here. Okay, what if my parents were inspected by immigration officers? Can I still fix their papers if I join the military? Absolutely. So the military program is called Parole in Place. That program is absolutely incredible. If your parents or your spouse have entered the United States without papers, with papers, you overstay, you go out of status somehow, you can still help them. You can help them fix their papers. If you are their relative, you go into the military and you can qualify for this Parole in Place program through the military. I've helped lots of people do it. It is absolutely like a magic wand. It works. I've done it many times. If you have questions about it, you can always reach out. You can, schedule a consultation and let me know if you have questions about it. But I absolutely have helped a lot of people with this process. So let me know if you need help with that. Okay. So that's the advanced parole. I'm sorry, that's the Parole in Place process. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Um, um, so, I had a question that's related to basically a U visa type process. I'm not looking for specific visa, but I was wondering what exactly counts as emotional abuse. I live in California. I asked on a cop Reddit and got absolutely flamed that cops can't do much about it. Would text be evidence of anything? So again, it depends where you are. If you're being harassed, if you're being stalked, If you're being threatened in any way, absolutely something can be done about that. Okay. I've helped people with U visas for this. I know this question says that you're not actually looking about a visa. You just want to be protected by the from law enforcement, protect you if you're being harassed or treated poorly by somebody. Yes, you can. If somebody is violating the law and they're harassing you, you absolutely can use the protection of the government to help you. Okay. So don't hesitate. If you have questions about it, you can reach out to me. I would love to help you figure that out. Okay. Let's see. Another question. Let me go up here to Instagram. Do we have any questions? Okay. What do we have here? One second. Okay. This is a repeat question. So, all right. Okay, so let me go back to the questions over here. I always get a lot of questions about categories, wait times, processing times. I will tell you folks that if you go on my YouTube channel, I regularly do videos about this. So you can go on there, do a search, and you can see what I say about that. I explained to you how to go to look for the information. I also answer about processing times. So please check that out, okay? Question here. I lost my green card and I filed a replacement, but my payment was rejected. Don't know why that would be. But you submit the payment as many times as it takes to get processed. Sometimes there's glitches in software. Do not rest until you get that confirmation, because not having a green card, technically you're violating immigration law and you can be deported if you don't have a green card proving your legal permanent residency status. So don't rest. If you need help with that, I know an attorney that can help you with that. Okay. That would be me. Let's see here. One second. So my uncle submitted a case for his brother, which happens to be this person's dad, in 2009, and we haven't heard anything. Is it normal to wait for that long for a Form I-130 petition for alien relative? Okay, so that question is a good question, but it could be open to interpretation. So if you're waiting for the I-130 to be approved and it was filed in 2009, something's botched, something's absolutely wrong. You probably have to refile. If you're waiting for the processing of the category, then that is not weird. Okay. So as y'all know, because you've watched a lot of my stuff, there's different processing times for different relationships and different countries. So it is very feasible that something was approved in 2009 and you're still waiting. Absolutely. If your I-130 is still being reviewed, no, that's wrong. Something's definitely wrong with your case. Okay. Let me go over here to see what other question I have. What's the average wait for change the old green card for a new one? My pleasure, Dean. So basically, I typically have clients who get their new green card replacements in 2 to 4 months. That's the typical wait period that I've had for clients. So if it's taking a lot longer than that, that's not normal. Okay. Let me go over here. See if there's anything over here in YouTube. No one right now. So let me go to the. Okay. So I have a case. Okay. That was 2009. I think that's similar to the question I just answered. Okay, I'm a U.S. citizen petitioning for my wife and stepchildren. My case was complete in September 24. That must be September 23, since September 24 hasn't happened yet. Do cases involving stepchildren take longer? They're under the age of 18. Would you have an estimate of when I might receive an interview slot? My wife and kids are Mexican. So September of this past year, if you haven't gotten something by now, chances are very good that it will happen soon. Okay. It does take a little bit longer. Again, If you did it yourself, it's definitely going to take longer than if you hired an attorney. It's just the way the government works. They put your requests in the get to it when you want to pile. Let's do the attorney pile first. Why is that? Because they think it's easier to review something that's been done by an attorney, but it could take longer for stepchildren. Technically speaking, it's not a legal thing. It's whether things were filed the right way is usually why it takes a little bit longer. Okay. So I had a question. What happens if my sponsor died during the application? Okay, so this is a very important question. Okay, so that's the topic. The main topic for tonight was you do not have to be married to a U.S. citizen to get your naturalization. Basically, this is a longer question. Okay, so I had a client who was going through. Went through the green card process, got a green card, waited the 5 years to get the ability to file for naturalization. And so sad, right before his process, his interview, his wife, who happened to be his sponsor, died. So therefore, invalidating his ability to technically be able to show that he was married to a U.S. citizen at the time of his interview. It's still possible to get your citizenship approved if your significant other is dead. There's a mechanism in place for people in that situation. So if you're not married, if your significant other or sponsor died, or if you've been divorced even, you still can become a U.S. citizen. I've helped lots of people with this. There's a lot of reasons why people are no longer married, whether it's divorce or death. And the law allows for that. The law allows you to be able to move forward with a naturalization. They don't just destroy you if you're no longer in that category, okay? There's protections in the law for people in situations like that. If you have questions about it, you can reach out to me as always. Let me see if I can post this for some reason. Wait, it's not letting me, but the point is, you absolutely can move forward with a lot of these processes, but you got to do it the right way. So if you have a question, schedule a consultation. If you have questions, save them for next week. Next Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is Detroit time, I'm going to be here again for another live session, answering your question, giving you updates. So please tune in next week for your questions, save them up, and I'm looking forward to talking to you all next week, Monday. Have a good rest of your week.